Alright guys, I want to welcome you back to another comic haul. And I originally intended to have this out earlier, but things just got so busy. So let's just get into it. First off, I want to start off with Star Wars Insider number 200. I, for the life of me, don't know what's been going on with this book. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a Peach Momoko variant. However, Um, I had pre-ordered this like back in January and it's barely just getting here. So I'm guessing it really just was that hot of an issue. Now, now for the rest of these books, I might mainly pick them up at LCS's like over the course of a month. Like first, like with whatever's going on with DC, I finally picked up another issue of The Flash from the New 52 number 1. Um, like part of my collection, DC wise, as of right now, has been mostly trying to pick up the New 52 number 1s. And the Flash number 1 is like my 4th or 5th copy. And right now, thanks to Ezra Miller and the movie, this is holding steady at around $10. And next up, I finally picked up my Batgirl number 1. And like this is a really nice cover, and I can't believe I actually finally managed to pick this up at a half price books, no less. However, I do wish that this was in a better condition because it does have like 2 spine ticks right here. So like for me personally, I'm not really bothered by it, but at least I finally have a first printing of this, since I do have a second and third printing. And then more onto the Flash. I picked up the Rebirth number 1. Um, Apparently, like when it comes to the first half of Flash Rebirth, they're like considerably kind of hot, mostly thanks to Godspeed and whatever's going on with the Flash on the CW side of things. But I'm just kind of glad that I have another copy of this one. Now, next, I guess you can say that I've been bitten by the Silver Age bug, and for some reason, like I'm just like right now, just looking for anything Silver Age, but like nothing in particular. But because I said Silver Age, you can say that that is kind of a clue of one of the bigger books that I have picked up. That if you guys saw the top 50 books, is partially a continuation of that. Now, next up is Justice League of America number 141. This has gotten kind of hot. Um, you can like put a pin on this for what I'm going to show off a little bit later, but apparently this is the first appearance of the android manhunters, which are uh, rumored to be shown in the Green Lantern HBO Max series. And then I had hit up this shop that I used to go to, but this is one of those shops that have transitioned more into the online sales, and it kind of completes a second run of the Batman Who Laughs. It's a Suicide Squad number 26, the variant edition. And this happens to be my second copy of this particular, but I'm actually looking for the standard cover. And like to have like a second complete set, like right now I'm missing I believe it's Green Arrow number 26, and that one I'm guessing like it's really low printed because it is like hard to find. And next up, more movie spec with, well, not movie spec, but when it comes to DC, you never really know if it's gonna come out or not. It's Infinite Crisis number 5. Jaime Reyes as the Blue Beetle. Now this is the George Perez cover, and if you guys seen my last comic haul, y'all know that I had picked up the Jim Lee variant, which that one is the hotter of the 2 issues to go after, but still having another copy of number 5, it can't hurt. And then this one is mostly of a DC Marvel crossover, Swamp Thing number 47, the meeting between Swamp Thing and the Man Thing. And y'all can put a pin on that later too. Next up, Star Wars number 49. Like, I wish it was kind of in a better condition, but it is a low printed run, and there's like some color rubbing and fading up in the top. And I just want you guys to know that this is the Last Jedi that's allowed in this household. And the next up, I finally just managed to bite the bullet and go after any copy that I could find of Devil Dinosaur number 1. Now, it's not in the best of conditions, but seeing as how I only managed to pick it up for $5, and I just finally just have a copy of it. Next up, now this one's more based on Batman the Animated Series, because one of the better episodes in my opinion is the Bullet for Bullock, and I finally happened to pick up the issue that it's based on, Detective Comics number 651. Next up, this is more just like Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut related, World's Finest number 302, just Superman and Batman duking it out on the cover. Now this one I just mainly picked up just so the guy at the counter could give me a discount, because apparently if you buy like a certain amount of issues, of back issues, he'll give you like a 10 to 15% discount on it. And this one does have kind of a folding, or it's cut off in the corner, so it's not in the best of conditions, but it's better than nothing. And then I finally managed to find my copy of Batman number 686, the third printing, and I really don't know what to say about the Key Collector app, that this book is going for $60, because the pricing on that on the app does seem to be all over the place and doesn't necessarily reflect what's going on online. But I can just say that I finally have my copy of it. Next up, a Batman Adventures number 8, one of the early appearances of Harley Quinn. I found this for $2 in a back issue bin, and this is my third copy, but I do also happen to have a DC Universe logo variant of this. And one thing is that ever since HBO Max came out, like, I've kind of been binge watching the show, and it is kind of a hard to find book out in the wild, but I finally managed to get my copy. Samurai Jack, the special number 1, and like a first printing can go anywhere from $30 to $40 in mint condition. However, this does have like a really bad spine tip right here, and it's color breaking, but being able to find it, that doesn't hurt. And more onto Zack Snyder's Justice League. Can you believe that out of all my LCSs, I was only able to find this one copy? And it's not even in the best condition, because the corner is kind of blunted up at the top. Right now, I really don't know what to say about the movie that hasn't been said already, but if I could express it in my way, so it is like, I would compare this movie to Infinity War. It was that good. Like, it being 4 hours just did not feel like it at all. And hopefully Warner Brothers gets their act together and manages to do the sequels to it. And speaking of the movie and this guy right here, no protectors here, no Kryptonians, no lanterns. This world will fall like all the others. Bam! I managed to get that bad boy right there. New Gods number 7, the first appearance of Steppenwolf. Now, I would say that when it comes to Kirby, I think Zack Snyder outdid him on the Steppenwolf design, but long live the king. Now, I remember back in first and second grade, like every kid used to play this in the playground, and we'd actually always get in trouble with the teachers saying that it incites violence and we shouldn't be doing that. But every time you'd come home from school, you finish your homework and you turn on Fox Kids and it'd be on TV. And apparently, this book has gotten super hot. And I managed to find this actually at a used bookstore that just happened to have back issues for $1. And apparently, if you guys grew up in the 90s, like I did, it'd be no surprise considering Hasbro just acquired the rights and they're looking into getting another movie put out. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1. Yeah, I finally managed to get a copy of that. However, I managed to find not one, but 2 copies of that. Like, I want to tell you guys, like, this book is extremely difficult to find as it is low printed. However, when you get this book, you want to be careful because it does have a trading card inside. And luckily, both of these issues do. And it also has like a card stock on 2 pages after that just to try and protect the card. However, I also managed to pick up issue #2, the first appearance of Tommy Oliver. Like, in this series, he's portrayed as the White Ranger, even though most people know him as the Green Ranger. But the way this series was published, the Green Ranger lost his powers like a year prior to this. And then to like round it off, I also found issues #4 and #5. Next up, I kind of finished my Batman year 1 run by being able to find these up for cheap. Batman #404. Like, this was graded at a 6.0, which means that it's not in the best of conditions, but I can at least say that I finally have my copy of this. And then I managed to find issue #407, part 4 of year 1. So now I finally have a complete set of this. And next up, like, I kind of want to talk about this book for a little bit, because I remember like back in the day when the show was just coming out, like nobody had anything good to say about this. Because it had got canceled not even a month or 2 after it premiered, and it just like fans and people of the series like bashed it to the point where Cartoon Network just straight up canceled it, and then they would never even consider a sequel or even expanding it. And I believe like it is one of the better underrated shows. It's called Beware the Batman, and I was binge watching it. Like, I gotta tell you, like, if you guys love the original Batman the animated series, like, this show really is that good. Like, I recommend it as a Batman fan. And like, really the only negative thing that you can say about the show is, like, without spoiling anything, is how they use one of the major villains as a subplot, and then towards the end of the second half of the season, there's just one episode that fell out of place. But the way the show goes on, it tends to introduce like these side characters that would end up being something more. And I finally was able to pick up this copy online. However, I do feel like it wasn't the best of purchase because it came not as advertised. And that is The Brave and the Bold #57, the first appearance of Metamorpho. And he's like a recurring character on that show, and I believe like the show depicts his origin story to the T. Now, like, what's disappointing about this is the way that it was advertised was that only that the bottom staple of the book was popped. However, when I managed to inspect the book further, the staple pop goes into the third page, which kind of devalues the book more. But I was able to get like 75% of a refund for it, so in the end I only ended up paying $20 for it. But on the bright side, it does present a lot better than what it actually is. Now on to my next three books, and I believe like I cannot lie to you guys, like I practically got these at a steal, and they are one of my bigger purchases, and they are movie specs, and one of them right now is going for big amounts of money. However, this next one it kind of gives you a clue to the book that I got. I'll go like in reverse order. First, it's Batman number 179, the second appearance of the Riddler in the Silver Age. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it is graded at a 1.0, and it's like really low grade. Like, the cover is torn off, like partially. There's a hole punch that goes through all the way, like this nasty tear at the bottom. So if you guys haven't guessed it, I'll let you speculate a little more. But going back to my top 50, I consider this next purchase like one of the better ones, considering like right now on eBay there's like none posted other than like CGC graded, and those go for a big dollar amount, and I only managed to pick this up for $60. Saga of the Swamp Thing number 37, the first appearance of John Constantine. Now this one is like mint sharp. Like, that's how good that book is. And to me, this is like this next book is one of my prized possessions. If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye? Right there, Batman number 171, the first appearance of the Riddler in the Silver Age. And I only managed to pick that up for $100. And people that know me know that I'm usually not one to spend that type of cash on any book. Like for what I paid for it, I basically held a gun to the guy's head to get this. But I wish it was in a little bit better condition, because considering all these spine ticks right here. Now recently there was one on eBay with basically a big hole right here that sold for over $200, and I still managed to get mine for only half of that. So if you guys haven't guessed it, these are number 49 and number 50 in my top 50 books. So tell me what you guys think about it and leave your comments down below, and thanks again for watching.